But I didn't set it up.
But if you didn't set it up, how do you explain all these details? I mean, look at this. It contains your photo, your physical description, and your profile was created using your work email address. Who would have access to all this information?
No one, I guess.
Well, that might not be exactly true. And to help explain, please welcome Cole Harris. Thank you, everyone. Now, Cole here is a special kind of private investigator. In fact, there's a term you coined for yourself.
I'm a cyber investigator.
Wait a second, are you saying I was hacked?
A lot of people don't realize it, but the information they post on .social or any other social media page can aid hackers in exploiting them.
They use it as a way to gain your trust. Pat's first mistake was that he didn't have his .social privacy settings turned on. This meant anyone could view his page and determine all kinds of personal information about him, including who his friends were.
And by friend requesting Pat's friends, they were able to earn his trust by appearing to have friends in common.
You're saying the hacker who did this was one of those friend requests I accepted? One that I didn't really know who the person was?
That's right. You trusted them because you appeared to have friends in common.
Not only are we going to learn who it was that did this to Pat, we'll also learn why. But before we get to that, we need to take a challenge. Unfortunately, we're out of time for today, but as I promised, we'll get to the bottom of what happened to Pat.
As we've all watched, is just a quick reminder, but we're going to go straight to the questions. Ideally, we're supposed to play it once more, but because of time, we are going to move straight to the questions. And I hope you all watched the video and you've understood the message that was being sent in that video. So we're going to go straight to the questions. And then you are going to help me in answering these questions because myself, I don't know the answers. So you know the answers. You've watched the video, you've had the training. So you are going to help me in answering the questions. So kindly bear with me. You don't have to type it just on your microphone. If you want to answer, help me in answering the question. And then you answer it or unmute yourself and then help in answering the questions. Don't write, please. Don't send it in a text form because I may not see it. Just unmute yourself and then answer the question if you know the right answer. So what should you do when getting a friend request on social media? What should you do when you get a friend request on social media? Check all that applies. We should check all that apply. So call or text to make sure it is actually them. Call or text to make sure it is actually them. The second one, ask them a question only they would know to ensure it is really them. You ask them a question, only they will know to ensure it's really them. If you receive a request from a complete stranger, it is okay to accept it since they don't know you anyway. If you receive a request from a complete stranger, it is okay to accept it since they don't know you anyway. The last one is if you have mutual friends, it is okay to accept a friend request, even if you don't know them. If you have mutual friends, it is okay to accept the friend request, even if you don't know them. So we are checking all that applies. So which one do you think it applies and can be checked? Is it the first one, second, third, or the fourth one? Is it the first, the second?
First.
One? Again?
I'll go with the second.
Second. Okay, what about the rest of the two?
And a third.
The third one? Okay, so is that all?
The last but one.
Not the third one, the last. Yeah, that's the last but one, the third one. Are you okay with that? Did you check the answers? Did you complete the quiz? Okay, let's complete. it's your required is 80%, your grade is 0.
So,
That means there's something wrong. So let's reset the quiz. What do you think? If you receive a request from a complete stranger, it is okay to accept it, since they don't know you anyway. If you
ask
have
them.
mutual friends, if you
Ask
have
them.
mutual friends, it's okay to accept it, even if you don't know them. You call or text to ensure it is actually them. You ask them a question, only they would know to ensure it's really well. So, which one do you think is the right answer?
So
Should be third and fourth.
The third and the fourth. Are you okay with that?
yes,
Are you guys okay with that? Okay, let's see.
yes. And
If
if
Bravo.
you have a mutual friend, it's okay to accept. That one too is correct.
No, if you have a mutual friend, it's not always okay to accept.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, you can be tricked with that. So if you have a mutual friends, it's not okay that you should always accept. So you have the two answers to be right. That is, you ask them a question, only they would know to ensure it is really them, and then you call or text to make sure that it is something that is coming. And the question is, imagine assuming the whole request is coming from someone who knows you or someone who you think you know. Okay, so it will be easier to just verify from the person to know if it is really coming from that person. Okay, or it is something you can ask them any question that you think it's only them who knows that question. So this will be in line with like something like a spear phishing kind of a thing. That's something that is coming directly from someone who knows you. But if you look at only the friends, the mutual friends that you have, you can be deceived by that. So don't always go with that. Try to kind of look at these basic tricks. So these are some of the things they use. Mr. Paul, let's come to you. I'm going to stop sharing. You can start sharing your screen, and then you can take us through the through today's session. So, Paul, are you here?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay, so
Um, can you see my screen?
yes, we can see your screen. So the floor is yours now. So you can start.
Good afternoon, class. My name is Paul. I'll be taking guys through the vulnerability management tool, which is Qualys. So, so before I go into that, when we talk about Qualys, Qualys is like a vulnerability management tool, which is for identifying vulnerabilities. And one thing we should know about a network is sorry, network can never be perfect, and we need to keep track of each network. So yeah, it said vulnerability management is a comprehensive approach employed by organizations to safeguard their digital assets by identification, assessing, and addressing potential security vulnerabilities in their systems, applications, and network. Vulnerability management is the process of identifying, organizing, reporting, and remediating vulnerabilities. It says the main purpose of vulnerability management is to support cybersecurity effort by minimizing possible threats and preventing attacks. So the importance of vulnerability management is to protect endpoints from vulnerabilities and cyber attacks. It's an essential component of any mature cybersecurity program. Using vulnerability management tools and processes, organizations are able to find, categorize, and resolve vulnerabilities that otherwise would have remained undetected on devices. If vulnerabilities are left undetected and unresolved, they create openings that cyber criminals can exploit for their attacks. These openings can lead to data theft, data loss, ransomware threats, and other dangerous cyber attacks that can significantly damage a business and its reputation. So under vulnerability management, there are some key points we need to know, which is discovery and identification, prioritization, assessment, mitigation and remediation, monitoring and continuous improvement, and the last one, which will be documentation. So we'll take key steps. The first one, which is discovery and identification. It says, well, the initial step involves actively seeking vulnerabilities through various means like automated scanning tools, which will be the qualities we'll be looking at later, manual assessments or monitoring logs, regularly updated vulnerability database and feeds help in identifying known vulnerabilities associated with specific software versions. The second one, which is prioritization, it says once vulnerabilities are discovered, a crucial aspect is prioritizing them on severity and potential impact on the organization's success. This involves assessing the risks posed by each vulnerability, considering factors like exploitability, potential damage, and the value of affected assets. So basically, what this trying to tell us, like, and let me take South Africa for example. South Africa has a lot of I would say many assets, and under South Africa there are some asset that needs to place more value. I mean, we need to place more value on some asset than others. For example, assets that have more severity. Third one is assessment. It says we're conducting a thorough assessment involves validating and understanding identified vulnerabilities. This can be done through vulnerability scanning tools or more in-depth penetration testing. The aim is to confirm the existence of vulnerabilities, understand how they can be exploited, and evaluate their potential impact on the organization. The fourth one is mitigation and remediation. After assessing vulnerabilities, organizations implement measures to mitigate or eliminate them. Common mitigation strategies include applying software patches, adjusting, sorry, adjusting configuration settings, employing security controls, or even isolating vulnerable systems. The fifth one is monitoring and continuous improvement. Continuous monitoring of systems and network is crucial for identifying new vulnerabilities or changes in the threat landscape. Organizations should stay informed about emerging threats and vulnerabilities, adapting their strategies accordingly. The last one, which is documentation, says thorough documentation of vulnerability management process is essential. This includes details about discovered vulnerabilities, assessments performed, and actions taken for mitigation. Documentation aids in tracking the status of vulnerabilities, sharing information with stakeholders, and learning from the past experience. The conclusion, which will be in summary, vulnerability management is an ongoing cyclical process that involves proactive identification, careful assessment, strategy prioritization, and effective mitigation of potential security risks. By following these structures approach, organization can maintain a resilient security posture in the dynamic and evolving landscape of cybersecurity. So now I will take you guys through the qualities. So when we talk about qualities is a vulnerability management tool, and it's for identifying vulnerabilities. Here we have about 550 open vulnerabilities, and we have 1.92K fixed vulnerabilities. So it means that South Africa, we had a total about what 2,470 vulnerabilities, and out of that 2,470 vulnerabilities, only 1.92K have been fixed. And during my slide, we talked about prioritization. And when it comes here, we can see that this server has more prioritization than any other server or assets on under the soft fabric. Sorry. So what Qualys normally does is Qualys is used to scan. We use Qualys to scan on a network or to find any application that or software that are not up to date. For example, if vendors find a problem with their software, let's say Microsoft, for example, and they realize there's a vulnerability, they come up with a new software or they try to, update that version. For example, let me use Soft Africa, for example. If Soft Africa has about 5,000 computers with 20 applications each, it's impossible for only one person to run update on each network. So what Qualys does is Qualys helps to run scan on each of these computers and tell us which of the computers are or that have that are up to date. And once Qualys does that, the team responsible for patching will do that. So before Qualys can scan your assets or computer, they need to be onboarded. And I would say there are two types of onboarding. So before you onboard, I'll go to assets here. Before Qualys can scan your computer assets, they need to be onboarded. And first I'll go, before I can onboard, I need to go to new. And there are two types of, like I said, there are two types of onboarding, but I'll go with the first. Yeah, before you onboard, you go to new, you go to host. And here I can use the IP track address or the domain.
Hold on, Paul. Before you go on, you said there were two types of onboarding. What is the reason behind the two types? Because
Okay,
there's a reason that you
sorry.
plug in the two.
The reason behind two types this onboarding is one is for only stationary, which is me using only my what's it called? My IP address. And the other one means I can, how should I put it? The other onboarding is when I have the assets downloaded on my computer, and then meaning it is not how should I put it?
It's not that stationary, it's moving, like when you have asset that you move around with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So before I onboard, before I do this, I'll be using my IP address to onboard. So first I go to new, I go to host, and here use my IP address. Oh, sorry. After coming to asset, I need to go to address management. And here I go to new. And here I can either use my IP or the domain name. So I'll use IP. And here it says what the subscription purchase is 32 and the ones available is 27. So I can go to subscription IPs. And here before I get my IP, I'll go to CMD. And type in IP config. Yeah, it gives me my IP right here. So I'll just copy it. And I'll paste it here. I'll just say, here my IP is already onboarded, so I don't need to bear. Once you're done, you click the vulnerability management and then I can add. Yeah, you can see my IP has already been onboarded. So I'll continue with the next step will be the scan. The second one will be scheduling. The ad hoc is when you want to scan your assets right away. But the scheduling is like as an analyst, you put time frame on your asset that you have on your network, and you ask Qualys to scan those machines in a particular time frame. It's like scan is just it's a means. Sorry, it's like picking each and every asset you have on your network and asking Qualys to go through all these assets and find if there are any potential vulnerability on those assets. Another way is like you asking Qualys to go into all these machines. Sorry. You asking Qualys to go into all these machines and check if there are any software or application on those machines that are up to date or that doesn't have the current version. So what will happen is if Qualys runs all these scans and find out that your application and your assets are up to date, it marks it at vulnerable. Then Qualys will go ahead and tell you the versions you're running is good, but then you need a new version. Before we go into the scanning, there's what we call the scanner appliance. Here we have about 4 scanner appliances, and the importance of scanner appliance is what? It's one that scan application the system that we have on our network, and we need to make sure that all these scanner appliance works for us. Here we have about 3 scanner, even though we have 4, we have about 3 scanner appliance working. And these kind of appliances, they are normally configured inside your organization's network so that it will be able to run scan on all these various machines you have. The one thing about scanner appliances, if you don't, if you're about to run a scan and you don't select a scanner appliance, there will be a rejection. So before we go into this scan, before you scan any of your assets to find any potential vulnerability, here we go to scan. And you come to scan here. Here I'll be doing the ad hoc scan, which is I go to new, and then I go to scan. Yeah, I need to name my scan, so I'll just put pause. Here we are running for authenticated scan. Authenticated scan is like giving the permits to check and dig into every corner of all your assets. And the scanner appliance, I'll go to build my list, and we have like about 4 scanner appliances, but then I'll be adding all 4. This is because in case one of the scanner appliance stops, another one could take over and run the scan. Yeah, I don't have any groups, and I'll be using my IP. So once this is done, I will launch my scan. Here, I run the scan already, but then it's going to take some time for the scan to, complete. But if anyone has a question, you can ask. Any questions? Hello?
Hello, Paul, we are here. No question. I don't know. So guys, do anyone have any question? If you have any question, you can just bring it out before he finished the scanning.
Okay,
Paul, can you throw a few light on the cloud agents?
Okay, sure. So let's cloud agent. So here's cloud agents, for example, you can see the number of assets. So under software freak, we have about 29 assets that have been onboarded. And the second type of onboarding will be this. I know this will take some time, but then let me just go right. So here we come to activation case. You go to a new key. So you go to a new key. Management. Oh, so that's okay. So here to install an agent on your computer, you go to install agent. And here we have Windows, Linux, and Mac. But here my computer is Windows, so I'm going to choose Windows. And here, this text over here will be needed later on to install the agent. So I will be copying this. And I'll paste it in my notepad. And here I'll go ahead and download this agent. So you can see what I just downloaded is right here, but then I'll take this somewhere else. One second. Okay, so yeah, what I just downloaded is right here under my download, and also there is a text or the text that I copied earlier on, which is the one right here. So the text I copied right here, it's already here, and also the agent that I downloaded earlier on is also here. So before I onboard this agent on my machine, I need to go to the CMD. And you always have to open as an administrator. Okay, so before we install this agent on the app, I need to come to CMD and also go to wherever my Qualys agent and also the text is placed. So before I went in here, I went to what I went to my local disk. I don't know, some of you might place it in a different place, but the mine is here. I went to the local disk and I went to the users and under my name. So it means on this my app, on these agents or these assets, these are all what's that are on my asset, and then I'll come to download. So under download, these are all what's have been downloaded on my asset. So here we have before we download everything, we can see the order here. We have users, my name, and also download. So before we install that agent, everything here needs to come anything in the CMD needs to exactly be like this. So before I move this back, I need to bring CD once again. See, we still have Windows there. So I will go to CD. Second. Any questions? Okay, I thought some. So now that I have the C here, the first thing I'll do is type in CD, which is change drive. So CD space user and enter. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake with the user, so it needs to be users, no user. So enter. And with this, I need to type change drive again. And then my name needs to come. So Paul. And after that one, another CD change drive again. And the last one, which will be downloads. So when this comes, then I need to copy this. I made a mistake. Give me 1 second, please. Yes, it's Qualys Cloud Agent installation field. I don't know how come this count, but then it seems it's because the agent has already been downloaded on or installed on my assets. Shafi, do you have something to say?
No, I don't have anything to say. You need any help or anything?
Yeah, 1 second. So I'm still trying to check if my scan is done. So once again. So my scan is done. It's still so back to Cloud Agent. Yeah, I'm trying to check the vulnerabilities on my assets. Let me check my asset number. 1 second. Yeah, it says my device name is Lab USA 32. So yeah, I'll go to view details. Here is everything about my asset. So I'll go to vulnerabilities. So you can see under my assets, which is under the software freak, it has about 7 vulnerabilities out of the 550 we saw earlier. So I'll go. Let me go to view vulnerabilities. Okay. And under all these 7 vulnerabilities, this has the most severity. So one thing about Qualys is tells you about your potential vulnerabilities and their description and tells you how you need to solve them. Yeah, the description is what it said. The VMware Horizon agents communicate with Horizon client to provide features such as connection monitoring, virtual printing, Horizon personnel management, and access to locally connected USB device. The impact these vulnerabilities can cause is what a malicious actor with network access to an impacted VMware product may exploit this issue to gain full control of your target system. So it means if someone or if a threat actor sees this vulnerability, they can take over my computer or assets. So the solution here is what say currently there is no solution. Please check VMSA for updates. So let me see. So probably this the thing this telling me is what I think my VMware is out of date, so I'll probably need to get a new version. So I'll do that later after class. Shafi, do you have anything to say? Shafi?
Yeah, Paul, I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I'm just following.
Any
So,
questions?
we are open for any question. If anyone has any question, we can just bring it on. I think Paul has done the, cloud agents, of which we use whenever we want to install the tool on a movable device or machine. So Paul made mention of, the vulnerability scanning being done on all the assets that the organization have. He used the first point by using the IP address, which we normally use to onboard any assets that is sitting in the organization's premises. But in this time and age, that everything is remote, working from home and stuff like that. We used to, connect to the organization system via, mobile devices and what have you. So it is important that you also onboard that particular assets. So when you are doing that, all that you need to do is to use the cloud agents to be able to have it seated on the machine so that the machine will also be, part of the asset that the organization will be taking for any vulnerability as far as scanning is concerned. So Mr. Paul has taken us through all those things and he's doing the scanning. And as you all know, it will take time, but we'll still see the results when the scanning is done. And then we'll be able to know if that machine is vulnerable or has some openings in it that a bad person could take advantage of. So that is what he is doing. But as we're going, we're just opening the session. If anyone has any question, you can just bring it so that our resource person for the day and other, members of the team who are, more advanced in knowledge and stuff to be able to answer all your questions and all your queries. And to those of us joining from the other social media platforms, you can still send your questions in the chat, box. So we'll see it and then we'll react to it as in whenever we get access to those questions. So we're still open for any questions if we do have one. Yes, Mr. K, come here.
Yeah, I think it's done.
You said? Hello, Kate.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Okay. Mr. Paul, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
The scan isn't done, so I don't know.
We're still waiting for it to finish.
Yeah.
So
One thing I can add is as cybersecurity analyst,
yeah.
If you are the one in your company and running the vulnerability scanning stuff, after scanning and you realize that, oh, there is this vulnerability, you can come here and report. And after making this report, the patch team will, take care of all the vulnerabilities. And if you come back and realize there is still any vulnerability left, you can go back and reach out to them so they take care of it.
Okay, that's good. So supposing that whenever you unearth any vulnerability, you report it to the patch team. So the patch team will take care of that. One may ask, why is it that, after you've seen the vulnerabilities, why not fix it yourself instead of sending the reports to other people? Because this is a problem that, or this is an issue that could be taken advantage of. So maybe the time that you take to report it to the other team and the time they react to it, if an attacker is able to kind of take advantage of it before they react, wouldn't that be a problem to the organization? So why must you report to the other team instead of you, after you've seen it, to just take care of it and then you make sure that everything is? So why do you have to report to other people?
So this depends on your organizations.
Yeah.
Because some people can do both the scanning and the patching better in some organizations. Just because they need you to focus on the scanning, and also in some organizations, you can write a ticket and send it to the vulnerability team. Sorry, the patching team to take care of. So it depends on your organization.
Oh, okay. So depends on the nature of the organization, whether it's big or small. A separate team could be set for fixing those vulnerabilities, whilst a team is there to set for those vulnerabilities.
Right.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's good. Then but if the organization is small, then those handling the scanning could be the
Yeah,
same
can
people
take care of the patching too.
patching the problem. Okay, that's good. So the scanning is still going, and we know the scan will be done, checking for updates on any software that is sitting on the machine, and as well as any, vulnerability that's the organization needs to address. So is it every vulnerability that is being identified that the organization needs to react on it? There are some vulnerabilities that the organization can just overlook it and just leave it without attending to it. Is there anything that the organization has to react on?
I think it should be everything, but then there's nothing like free. How should I put it? There's always a vulnerability that will be on each asset. because there's nothing like zero vulnerability. So regardless of whether you take care of everything or not, there will definitely be a vulnerability. But the thing is, there are some vulnerabilities that have higher severity. That's why you need to, prioritize this type of severity. So for example, you as a vulnerability scanner, after scanning and you, prioritize or report these to the patching team, you need to prioritize all these vulnerabilities to let what is it called, the patching team to know this, okay, this vulnerability has a higher prioritization, so, or higher severity, so they need to take care of it first. That's why when it came to the cloud agents here.
Okay, so if I understand you well, prioritization needs to be given to, the level of severity of that vulnerability.
Severity, right?
Okay. So if it's a vulnerability with a higher severity,
They need to be taken care of first.
yeah, it has to be taken care of first, and the rest will follow. That's good. Okay, so what
So
are
you
you
can
doing
see,
now? Yeah.
so you can see here under my assets, right? You can see this one has a higher severity than this.
Okay, can you take us back to how you get to these points so that people will surely will understand you perfectly well?
So yeah, I came to cloud agents. Let me go back to the VMDR.
Good.
So here I need to come to cloud agents. And here I need to type in my agent. So my agent is lab USA 32.
That's your computer, right? Your computer.
Yeah, that's my host name. So here I come here and I need to view all the asset details.
Okay.
So yeah, I go to vulnerabilities. So here you can see on my assets I have 7 potential vulnerabilities. So I view vulnerabilities. So yeah, we have the severity here. Yeah, this one has a severity of 5. The highest will be 5 and the lowest will be 1. So here you can see the potential vulnerability is 5. And this one is I think 4. Yeah, this will also be 4, and this is 3, and this 3 as well, and this 3. So after running this my asset, for example, and I realized that this one has a severity of 5, I need to prioritize it and let the patching team know, because this one has a higher probability of, causing harm to the company.
Okay.
So that's why prioritization is very important. Assuming I didn't, let's say for example, after running a scan and I don't prioritize it, the patching team wouldn't know. Since this one is has a level 4, instead of taking care of this first, they might come for this one instead. And if this one isn't taken care of like early, it will cause harm to the organization. So did I make my explanation clear, or you still have some question?
No, everything is clear. Everything is clear. I don't know from other members who are here. Guys, do you have any question? Do any of us here have any question? He just took us through on how he's able to check his machine or his assets, whether that asset is vulnerable. He goes to the CA, that's cloud agents, and then he just check his machine via the name, and then he check for other vulnerabilities. So when he checked, he realized there are 7 identified vulnerabilities on that machine. And then he took us through on how to check for severity. So he checked, and then he saw the vulnerabilities, and he explained that 5 is higher than 4. So if severity is rated from 1 to 10, 5 should be taken care of first before, before 1. And there are other, vulnerabilities that should be looked at first, like remote code execution. If you find out that there's anything that could, a hacker could sit anywhere and then take advantage of, then that one should be sold also first, should be prioritized. So that is what he has just taken us through, and I hope we all understand that part very well. So Paul, is the scanning done, or is still
I wanted to show you guys this. So you can see here, like we have the total of 550 vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And you can see here we have the quality detection score, which is the QDS, and we have the severity. So under all these vulnerabilities, we have, like, you can see the severity score. We have 5 that are, we have 27 assets that have 5 severity score. We have 133 that are 4, 143 that has 2, and 233, 238 that has 3, and 9 that has 1 severity score. So once I scan, let's see, what's it called? Software Africa has about 29 assets, and all these assets has all these vulnerabilities. So after scanning all these vulnerabilities, scanning the assets and realize all these vulnerabilities, this is where I need to write the report to the patching team to take care of. And before the patching team do anything, they need to take care of the ones that have the 5 vulnerability severity first before going to the 4, come to 3, 2 before the 1. Let me go back to scan and see. I think it's almost done. So yeah, it says the summary of my vulnerability. So here the total vulnerability. Okay, let me go back to my assets. Still 7 vulnerabilities. I think it should be done in a few minutes. Shafi. Shafi.
Yes, Paul, I'm here.
Is there anything else you would like me to touch on? I mean, the
No,
scanning,
no, no. I think
system downloads.
you've said it all. I think you've done it all, and well done. You've um, been able to educate all of us here, and thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. So you can rest here. I'm going to call on Madam Janet. If you don't have anyone with any question, we're going to call on Madam Janet to also come in and then see one or two things before we hand over to boss and then we wrap up. Madam Janet, if you are here.
Yeah, Shafiu, I'm here. So thank you, Mr. Paul, for taking us through today's session. It was super intensive. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you everyone who has joined us today from all our platforms. We are happy to have you. We are super elated, especially our first timers. We are truly elated to have you here. So let me throw a little light to who we are and give some background to what we do. So yes, we are Software Freak, a leading IT firm, a cybersecurity company. So yes, we do not only specialize, but we champion in providing software development and IT solutions. We currently run a cybersecurity plus course, a comprehensive 4-month program designed to take your cybersecurity skills to new greater heights. So yes, why invest 4 months with us? We equip our students with in-depth expertise needed to navigate confidently in the ever-evolving landscapes of cyber threats. Yes, it is not just a program, it's a transformative journey where you'll master the intricacies of cybersecurity through immersive learning experiences. So what's in store for you? So our students enjoy taking not only the theoretical knowledge, but also we give them the practical know-hows. So they enjoy hands-on training through our state-of-the-art labs, through real-world simulations. From industry experts. So we equip you with the practical skills required to defend against today's cyber challenges. Who is it for? It's for everyone, provided you are passionate about safeguarding digital landscapes. So whether you're an IT professional, a business owner, large or small, our program caters for you. So take charge of your cybersecurity destiny and join a community of like-minded individuals dedicated to securing the digital world. What do you stand learning or what you master in 4 months? So we have a number of things for you. You get to learn advanced threat intelligence, network security architecture, cybersecurity policy and governance, penetration testing and ethical hacking, security compliance and risk management, and much, much more. So let me give you some few perks of the Cybersecurity Plus course. So you get to enjoy internationally recognized certifications, mentorship from cybersecurity experts, exclusive access to our state-of-the-art lab or resource hub, and then real-world projects to bolster your portfolio. We also give our students support through interviews. We also prepare CVs for them to land on jobs. And we also assist all our newly employed or newly hired on their jobs. So our program is on rolling basis. Even though our enrollment is every month, seats are limited, or we have limited seats available. So do not take the whole time to decide. This isn't just a course, it's an investment in your future. So visit our website or social media handles. So you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to reserve your place today. So this session happens every Wednesday Our TIS, that's our Threat Intelligence Seminar, happens every Wednesday. Same time, 12 Eastern Time or 5 Greenwich Meridian Time. We also run an orientation session every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can join in there and learn more about our course or program. Yeah, thank you so much. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Janet, and bye-bye from here. So we'll meet again next week. Keep following Soft Afrique on all the social media platforms, and we'll always give you the best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paul. Bye-bye.